Hey, welcome to Brunch with Brian. Today I want to talk about opening calls. As we know, I like to, when it's a Monday and it's around the beginning of a month, I like to talk about Fresh Start Monday. So we're coming up on the beginning of July. Next Monday, it'll already be July. So let's get a fresh start on July. Let's start thinking big for July. Let's start thinking about one or two deals in July. Let's see if we can close out this month really strong. Hopefully we got at least one deal under our belt. Remember, the goal is, especially if you're brand new and you've never done any pre-funded deals before, my goal is for you to do at least one this summer. Remember, if you just did 4 or 5 of these cash flowing pre-funded seller finance deals, if you just did like 3 or 4 or 5 a year, you would accumulate wealth over a number of years, over 3, 4, 5 years. I'd like you to go faster. I'd like you to do maybe one deal a month. And it starts with the opening call. So I want to talk about opening calls today too. Fresh Start Monday, but also opening calls. So what's the deal with opening calls? So who is making your opening calls? First, let's just lay this out. If this is an automatic second nature, you know this already. Every deal follows this process with seller and then with buyer. Opening call, closing call, deal meeting. Okay, it's that simple. Opening call, closing call, deal meeting. Now, there is some kind of marketing or something that brings you together with that seller at some point in the beginning, but at some point this opening call happens. So look at how your workflow goes in your real estate investing business or any business you have. What is your first opening call, your first opening contact with that customer? In real estate, what form are you guys using? Now, there's 3 different forms I want you to use for the opening call. If you are doing it internally or using somebody locally. So your options on this, who's taking this opening call? If it's an incoming call or if it's an outbound calling a for sale by owner lead or even a realtor lead. We do a lot of realtor leads now. So what's your approach? Who's doing this opening call? Either it's a virtual assistant calling for sale by owners. It's a local FSBO caller, somebody that you know and like who will do it for $5 a lead sheet and fill them out and do a decent job. Somebody who likes to talk on the phone. You should be thinking about this because that's a person locally who you could start off with a little bit of money and maybe grow into an acquisitionist and really help your business. So I like a local FSBO caller who we also call as they grow with you an acquisitionist. Now the other option is you do your own opening calls. I did all my own opening calls in the beginning. As you guys know, maybe I quit my job when I found this real estate investing. I made my plan to do it and I quit my job, and it was a little abrupt for Lynette, but it all turned out good because I got a shut up check pretty quickly. So if you guys are at that spot where you're looking for your first deal, I'm okay if you're taking your opening calls by yourself. It depends on how much time and availability you have on this and how many incoming calls you get. Now, how many incoming seller opening calls can you even expect in a whole month? I mean, if you're doing a lot of good marketing, maybe you get 5 a week. That's a lot. So that'd be like 20 incoming. If you could get 20 sellers to call you per month, I would be proud of you that you would have a good business based on that, because you'd be closing at least a couple of deals a month, unless they're coming in some weird way and they're not real sellers. If they're real sellers and they're coming in with some kind of fairly positive impression of you at the outset, then you're going to do at least 1 or 2 deals off 20 leads who are calling you. Now, if you're doing all outbound calling, if that's the only way you have to generate opening calls is somebody's calling for sale by owners, well, you're chasing the business then. The business isn't coming after you. The business isn't coming to you. So I prefer it if you put marketing out, social media, of course. You guys know we have a whole system that teaches you how to do your social media. And so this is really important that, it's really better if they're calling you. So now in the opening call, how does the opening call work? It's opening call, closing call, deal meeting. With the opening call process, if the person is calling you, you're going to be using the incoming seller opening call script or form. Okay. Now we have these forms. You guys probably have you hopefully have our what to say and what to do system, or our pre-funded property system. And so if you have one of those two systems, you're going to have the crucial opening call scripts and forms. Now, sometimes you'll see just an opening call form. There's no scripting in there. And that's really hard to follow. Most speakers or whatever have a form like that where it's just a bunch of blanks. And I've worked with a lot of organizations, and that's what they're sending. That's what they're asking the VAs to get information with, and it's scary because I don't know what the VAs are saying. I don't know how they're asking for that mortgage information. And no, you can't just say, "So how much do you owe on your mortgage?" There's a way to do it. In fact, we used to get half of ours back with no mortgage information until I wrote 3 specific lines for the script. And all of a sudden we were getting 91% back. We tracked it for a while back with mortgage information. So, sometimes it works out best by doing something with monthly payments. So do you have a mortgage on the house, or do you own it free and clear? So, and that's basically how you lead into that. Now, if you don't have those lines, didn't that sound natural? And you don't get the resistance off of that when you approach it the right way. So this opening call script, these 3 scripts are very similar. So as you look at them, they're going to be real similar. And these are the 3 scripts, the opening call scripts you should be using every time you're talking to a seller for the first time. Either the incoming seller opening call script if they're calling you, the FSBO opening call script if you're calling them, or if they're a for sale by owner, or there's a third one, and that's called the landlord opening call script. And that's the script you use to call houses for rent, trying to convert them into a rent to own. So those are the 3 primary opening call scripts. You've never seen anything. If you've ever seen anybody else's form to do an opening call, it's a joke compared to these. These are this is what we do. I'm not going to have you guys doing something we don't do. And I'm not going to let my organization be flopping around like a fish on a dock with the wrong forms and no scripts. So again, scripts are so vital. Got these scripts in place for you guys on the opening call. So make great opening calls using these scripts, getting the mortgage information, finding out whether or not they'll be open to monthly payments. That's where you start, is the opening call. So stick to these forms. If you don't have these forms, go ahead and call the office, 888-RICH-NOW, 888-RICH-NOW. Do you want to be rich now or rich later, as Lynette always says? You want to be rich now. So let's make great opening calls, because that's the opening of the doors to success. All right, that was a good one, right? All right, so guys, I want you making those. And again, how many opening calls should you be shooting for? I would like you, now even if they're outbound, I'd really like you talking to 10 sellers a week. I mean, that's a big goal. That's a lot of sellers. Even if it's half that, I would probably, it's hard for me to say that. Because I know you can talk to 10 sellers in a week, that's barely more than 1 a day. So I know if you're just calling FSBOs, or if you have some concerted effort, and you can work on listed properties, because guess what? You're going to run out of FSBO opening calls. It's not going to take that long. So there is another opening call, and that is a realtor opening call. And that's another whole can of worms. I'll talk about that maybe tomorrow, okay? Because that opens up the world to you when you start working with realtor properties. All right, guys, so great to see you, Christy and Lori, and all you guys who are always on. And so what's our affirmation for today? It's, I'm going to make great opening calls. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make great opening calls. I'm going to make great opening calls. I'm going to make great opening calls. Yes. All right, so deep breath. Nice deep breath in. It's a beautiful summer. Let's keep our summer going. Nice deep breath in. Big smile. Remember how that smile puts your mind in a positive frame, positive mindset. Another deep breath in. Feels great. Okay, so guys, let's go get them. Let's make some great opening calls. Let's have a great day. Let's have a great week on this week. And until I see you next, keep expecting success and getting awesome training and taking action.